श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनाब्धीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ஓம் சாந்தி சாந்தி சாந்தி. இப்போ நேற்று பார்த்தோம், தூக்கம் வர்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி விழிப்பு நிலை அடங்கின பின்னாடி ஒரு மந்தமான நிலை இருக்கும். அந்த மந்தமான நிலையை பிடிக்கிறது தான் சாதனையா சொன்னது, தாரணையா சொன்னது. அது ஒரு விஷயம் இல்லை அப்படிங்கிறதுனால சாக்த உபாசனை இல்லை. நம்மளால அதை திடமா பிடிச்சி பண்ண முடியாது. ஏன்னா நம்ம ஒன்று தூக்கத்தில் இருப்போம், இல்லை விழிப்பில் இருப்போம், நடுவில் இல்லை கனவு கண்ணுன்னு இருப்போம். ஸோ அது விஷயம் இல்லை. அதனால நம்ம ஆணவ உபாயமாகவும் அதை பார்க்க முடியாது. அதனால இதை ஒரு சாம்பவ உபாயமா தான் கருதணும் நம்ம. சரியா? அடுத்தது ஆணவ உபாயத்துக்கு திருப்பியும் கொண்டு வராரு. Okay. So, yesterday we saw in the last Dhāraṇā that we have to start with a state where the waking state ends and the sleep state starts. That's a dull period. Okay. So, it is not, that dull period is not something which we can grasp, because if it is not an anupaya, that is what my idea is. So because it is not an object to focus on, since there is no object, it cannot be shakta upaya. Since it is not graspable by ordinary people, because either we are awake or we are asleep. In between, this lazy period, this dull period is not something which we can grasp, because we will be daydreaming. So it is impossible for a normal person to grasp. So this is a shambhava upaya. Okay. So next is he's bringing us to ana upaya. Now, tejasā sūryadīpāderākāśe śabalīkṛte dṛṣṭirniveśyā tatraiva svātmarūpaṃ prakāśate. tejasā sūryadīpāderākāśe śabalīkṛte dṛṣṭirniveśyā tatraiva svātmarūpaṃ prakāśate. tejasā sūryadīpādehe. So here what the object of Dhāraṇā is the light from sun or lamp, whatever it may be, the light. Okay. So which is mixed in the atmosphere, the ether, the space. So that in that light, dṛṣṭirniveśyā, you have to place your focus. Drishti means your focus, not the eyesight. You have to place your focus. When you place your focus there, in that very space, the inherent nature of the self shines. Okay. So how do you do that? Tejasā sūryadīpādehe. We are not talking about the sun rays. We are not talking about the moon rays. The light from sun or moon. See, now in this room there is light. The light is coming from the sun. We don't have to go and sit outside to do this, because our focus is not on the sun. Our focus is not on the moon. Though there is a sanyama, a focus taught in Yoga Sutra, where without blinking you have to see the sun or the moon. And there are results which are prescribed for that. Patanjali says, when you do sanyama, it's called a sanyama. Trayam ekatra sanyama, focus. That's simple. To keep it simple, keeping your focus on some object is called a sanyama. Okay. Now, if you are going to focus on sun, then what happens? Bhuvana jnanam. You gain the knowledge of the whole solar orbit or the whole creation. Okay. Now, chandre taravyuha jnanam. If you are going to focus on the moon, then you are going to gain the knowledge of constellations, the stars, etc. Now, siddhis, these are called siddhis. These are condemned by the very Yoga Sutrakara. Patanjali himself condemns that. Then why does he prescribe that? He prescribes these for people to gain little interest. Oh, what he says is true. If I meditate in this, I understand this. So okay, so what he says, the when you are in when you are clear about what gross he said, then you'll be interested in what subtle he says. So here we are not meditating on the sun, the moon, or the lamp, but we are, and moreover, we are not meditating on the space because that's a different dharana. We are meditating on the light which is seen in the space. Okay, your focus is on the light. You are going to keep your eyes wide open. You are not going to blink. You are going to see the light, not the space, not the objects beyond the space. When I'm going to look, I can see the floor or the window or the tree outside, etc. No, I'm not going to keep my focus on any of these things. I'm just going to see the light in the space. When you see that, you can see the light shimmering or the light moving. When you focus on that, you can see the movement of light. We are not even talking about the sun rays or the rays. The light itself moves. You can see that. When you are going to concentrate, you can see that. Okay, that is what is the focus here. Okay, this is anopaya. We can practice this. So there is no asana here. You can sit in any which way. Any position is okay. Any posture is okay. You can lie down if you want. You can just sit in the chair, and then this is normally we do. This is called as, in Sanskrit, this is called as kasuchi, looking blank. That is what is prescribed here. Okay. So you are going to look at the blank, but the focus is not the blank, not the space, the light in the space. Okay. Now, let us try to see this. I keep my eyes wide open. I'm not seeing the wall. I'm not seeing the floor. I'm not seeing the sky. I'm not seeing the space. I'm only seeing the light. Oh. So if you are going to focus on that, then you can see I said, the movement of the light. Sometimes there'll be stars flying in front of your eyes. That's all okay, because you are not used to keep your eyes without blinking, except to watch a movie or to watch the screen, cell phone screen. Okay, that is the problem. People watch the look into the cell phone or the monitor without blinking. Anyway, that is a different issue. Now here, that is anopaya. Okay. Next upaya. This is shambha upaya. In between two anopayas is bringing shambha upaya, the extreme end of anopaya. Anopaya is something which we can practice. Shakta upaya is something which we can at least try. Shambha upaya is something which we cannot even think of. Okay, so that is the upaya he is bringing in. We'll try to understand what the upaya is. Okay, karaṅkiṇyā krodhanayā bhairavyā lelihānayā khecaryā dṛṣṭikāle parāvāptiḥ prakāśate. karaṅkiṇyā krodhanayā bhairavyā lelihānayā khecaryā dṛṣṭikāle parāvāptiḥ prakāśate. There are two readings. One is parāvāptiḥ, the other is parāvyaptiḥ. Parāvyapti or parāvāptiḥ does not really matter. Ava plus apti. V plus apti. That is the only difference. The prefix V and the prefix ava is the only difference. Apilru prapana is the root word to gain. So avapti also is to gain. Vyapti also is to gain. Okay. Now karaṅkiṇyā. These are different kinds of mudras. They are not postures. They are gestures. Okay. But here it is a kind of state. A state where the body is seen as a skeleton. Krodhanayā, where the body is rigid, like you are when you are in anger. Then bhairavyā, to focus, to place your gaze inwards without blinking. Lelihānayā, to taste the consciousness existing everywhere. Khecaryā. Khecaryā means to focus on the, see, there are different kechari mudras that they say. To focus on the ether, space. That is one thing we'll understand here. Okay. So when you are going to do these kind of things, then what happens? The parā, the supreme goddess, she shines. You gain that supreme state. That's the idea. Okay. Now, karaṅkiṇyā, there are different stages of explanations for these different gestures, mudras. We'll see that. Karaṅkiṇyā. Karaṅkiṇyā, the first explanation for these five is when you leave your body without any movement, like a dead corpse, then staying like a corpse when you see the whole creation, without any movement, when you see the whole creation, that is karaṅkiṇī. Krodha means anger. Krodhanayā means when you are very angry, your body feels agitated and it's very rigid, not relaxed. That is the state. Then bhairavyā. Bhairavyā means a state where you focus inwards, where you are focused only on the seer. The power of seer is what is Bhairavi mudra. Then lelihānayā. Lelihānayā means to taste. Taste what? Taste the consciousness, the self existing everywhere. How do I taste? No. This is an idea. So you have to experience the self existing in everything, everywhere. So this is the bhaktu state, the state of experiencer. The previous state is the Bhairavi is a state of a seer. Here it is a state of experiencer. Okay. Then khecaryā. Khecaryā means see, there are different levels. One is simple. From the navel, you see the power to travel up to the cranium, to the triangle there. Try to place it there and take it beyond that. We have seen it in the previous sadhanas to the dvadashanta, etc. Little up itself is enough. So that is kechari here. Normally kechari, we saw in some previous dharana, people split their tongue and then try to push it through the hole inside, the nasal hole inside. So that is kechari. Okay. And kechari is done for kachari. Ka means space. Chara means to move. To roam, to move in space, to fly in space. That is what that is result of that sadhana. Okay. That's why it is called as kechari. That is the first explanation. Second, he says, for each of the five, for whom each one of this mudra is prescribed. That is also said. The body made of five elements. Now, when you are going to dissolve each of the element in the elementals in their the respective elements, the smell, whatever you see in the body belongs to the earth. So the watery part, whatever belongs to the water. So in this way, merge whatever, because this is elemental. Merge the elementals in the elements. That point of time, that is called as karaṅkiṇī. Everything merges. There is nothing existing except the self. So this is done by the Jnana Siddhas. The Siddhas are classified into the accomplished souls. They are classified into 5 types. Okay, in Shakta and Shaiva. So here this is called as Jnana Siddha. Jnana Siddhas are people who, after studying the Shastras, follow it. Okay, that is Jnana Siddha. Like the Vedantins also do it. They try to dispose the body by eliminating the 5 koshas. 5 elements, 5 koshas, different way, that's all. Okay, then the 14 tattvas, they are merged in the body of mantra. Using the mantra, they are merged in the body of mantra, the mantra itself. That is what is the Krodhini Mudra. This Krodhini Mudra is, because it is based on mantra, it is accomplished by the mantra siddhas. Okay. The third is the Bhairavi Mudra. When you merge everything in yourself, that is called as Bhairavi Mudra. And these are practiced by Melapa Siddhas, a Siddha group called as Melapa, not Milarepa, Melapa. Okay. Then, so lelihānayā is to see everything, to perceive everything as absolute consciousness. Again and again, repeatedly. That is what is leliha. And this is gained by the Shakta Siddhas. Okay. And in the space, in the ether, in each of the objects, the previous is in each of the objects which you see. So here in the ether, everything is merged in the ether. So in that ether, the Shakti is what is pervading. So that Shakti which is pervading, if you are going to be associated with that, moving in that is also being associated with that Shakti, that is called as khecaryā. And this is done by the Shambhava Siddhas. Shambhava Siddhas, because they are associating themselves with the Shakti, Shambhavi. Okay, therefore this is Shambhava Siddhas practice. Now the same 5 mudras are explained in a different way. Karaṅka means the body. Body is seen like a skeleton. That is Karaṅka, Karaṅkiṇi mudra. Krodhini is keeping the body as the substratum. That is Krodhini, as the adhara, as the Jnata, let us say. Okay. Then Bhairavi is merging one's own inner nature in the self. Leliha means the body is made of thought imprints, the patterns. Okay. So merging the patterns and the body in the self is what is called as a leliha. And seeing the space, ether is also referred to as ambara. Seeing it as knowledge, chid ambara, jnana akasha, bodha gagana. They all refer to the same knowledge space. Okay, seeing the whole thing as knowledge space without any veiling. That is what is your khecaryā mudra. A different form of interpretation. That's all. So there are, I explained 3 different forms of interpretation for each of this. I'm sure we would have not understood any of them. That is why it is Shambhava Upaya. Let us forget about that. We have enough upayas to practice. Let us just focus on that. Even these upayas which we can practice, which are called as Ana Upaya, seems difficult. See, one upaya we understood, the breathing in, breathing exercise technique, that we understood. Now here the next Ana Upaya is coming. Let us try to understand this. mṛdvāsane sphijaikena hastapādau nirāśrayam nidhāya tatprasaṅgena parā pūrṇā matirbhavet. mṛdvāsane sphijaikena hastapādau nirāśrayam nidhāya tatprasaṅgena parā pūrṇā matirbhavet. So what this Dhāraṇā says is in a soft seat, being seated in a soft seat on your buttocks, on your bum, by leaving the hands and legs relaxed without holding on to anything, without placing it on anything. When you stay put in that, then you gain the knowledge of the absolute self, parā, pūrṇā, the absolute consciousness. That is what the Dhāraṇā says. Now, each word is can be interpreted in different ways. Let us say mṛdvāsane. Mṛdvāsane means a soft seat. It is said you should not be seated on the ground directly. You should place a seat. But I have dhoti. Dhoti is also a cloth. I am not sitting directly on the earth. True. But the Shastras say either whether you are going to be sitting or you are inviting a devata, you have to place an asana for them, for yourself or for them. So simply what they may do is take two grass and place it as a pointer to the asana. It's a linga to the asana. That's all. That's a gesture. Okay, there is an asana. So that is mridu asana, soft. So for mridu asana, there are different things: a soft cotton cloth or a deer hide or something. That is also accepted. Now, let us take. Why I have to describe this is because they go on and on about this asana. Oh, you have to have a very soft cushion, otherwise you will have bed sores and all those problems. Otherwise, stupidity. Let me put it very clearly. These are all stupidities. People don't understand what they are talking about. It is just to separate you from the earth. That's all. You have to put something to separate you from the ground, directly sitting on the ground. That is the only reason. You place a cotton cushion. Does not really matter whatever you are seated in. After some time, you won't feel cushion. You won't feel that softness. It will also become hard. Whether you are seated on a hard surface or a soft surface does not really matter after some time, if you are going to really sit. Like when you say, let us do meditation, immediately people will do chin mudra. They'll place themselves chin mudra. Okay. After some time, close your eyes, try this. It's a simple technique. After some time, you won't even feel if you are holding on to the finger or not. If your thumb and the pointing finger are touching or not, you won't even feel that. You may sometimes, oh, have I changed the fingers? You may even feel like that. You will lose the sense of touch if you are doing it properly. Anyway, so mridu asane, whether you are seated in a soft cushion or a hard seat, does not really matter. After some time, both your bums are going to be numb. You are not going to feel anything. That is the truth. Okay, mridu asane. Sphijaikena. This sphija is the bum. So ekena means alone or one. So it can, ekena means can mean one side or only. Both meaning you can interpret. So keeping both your bums on the, both your buttocks on the seat, on that asana, or one side. This is a little complicated, like you have piles or something. They sit one side like that, right? So what is the asana? And hastapādau nirāśrayam, without placing your hands and legs on the ground or anything. What kind of asana is this? There is only one asana which you can remember in the Yoga Sutra, which says you have to be seated just on the bum, having your hands and legs on the hanging. Like you have to put your hands and legs in front. It's called as Nauka Asana, boat posture. That is the only posture which you can do in this way. But again, Nauka Asana. Asana is for Sthiram Sukham Asana. That's the definition for asana. Asana is something where you can sit peacefully, pleasantly for a longer period of time. That is what is asana for. And will you be able to sit like this? Your body is going to shiver, tremble. And Angame Jayattam is accepted as Vikshepa Sahabhava in Yoga Sutra, meaning it is an obstacle for Samadhi. So if you are going to tremble, then if you are going to shiver, that is not going to aid you in focus. So that both asana is not the asana which we are going to practice. So what are the other options? Keeping your hands and legs closed like a Hayapa sits. That is also impossible. You can't sit for a long time. Okay. So what is the other option? For this, I tried all the postures. The only posture which is possible for this is you have to sit on a high ground, on a chair or something, and let your legs and hands free. That's the only posture. You can, if you want to try even there, if sphijaikena, if you want to keep only one buttocks, then again there is a fear of falling from the chair or from the higher posture, higher plane. So if you are going to have fear, how can you focus? So that also is impossible. So placing both your bum on the chair or on the higher ground, higher plane, letting your hands and legs hang, not placing it on your lap or on the chair, on the handle of the chair, nothing. You are going to let it free, hanging. When you do that, what happens? After some time, you can feel the blood flowing to your palms, leg and hand. You can feel that. And after some time, you won't feel your body. That is the ultimate for this whole dharana. This is the ultimate state. First, you will feel the tingling effect. That tingling effect is what is called as the flow of consciousness. That is how they see it. This tingling effect is what they see it as a flow of consciousness in the body. Okay? Chetayanti, sakalyena chetayanti. That's what the commentators say. Chetana, the consciousness flows through the whole of the body. That is a tingling effect of the blood flow. That's all. Because your hands and legs are hanging. Okay. Now we are not going to make it esoteric. It is simple, stupid system, the physical system. That's all. Okay. After some time, you won't feel that. You won't feel your bum also because that has become numb. So when you don't feel your bum, you don't feel that you are seated. When you don't feel you are seated, you don't feel your whole body. When you don't feel your whole body, you are seeing yourself to be one with the whole creation. That is what is this parā, pūrṇā, matirbhavet. Okay, this we can practice, but we have to practice only by placing ourselves, by seating ourselves in a chair or something. Okay, sit in a chair, put your hands and legs on the ground, facing towards the ground. Okay, let it hang. You are not placing your hands on the thighs, you are just letting it on the side of your leg. Okay, now you can feel the tingling sensation in your palms, the hand. It's pressed throughout the body. After some time, when you do that, you are focusing on the tingling sensation throughout the body. The whole body is tingling actually. This is what is called as chetana, experience of this consciousness. When you are going to focus on this for some time, when you are going to focus on this for some time, not just for few minutes, when you are going to focus this for some time, then you can not feel the body. The tingling sensation, etc., stops. You will feel yourself as an embodimentless existence. That is what is pūrṇā matirbhavet. Okay, we will see this. Om pūrṇamadah pūrṇamidam pūrṇāt pūrṇamudachyate pūrṇasya pūrṇamadāya pūrṇameva avashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti.